flesh writhes. The flesh writhes. It shifts across itself like layers of wet paper, morphing and tearing and bubbling blood. But the process never ceases, never comes to an end. It's sickening, Turstan whispers ruefully. He's not sure whether the statement is aimed at the mass of revolting, semi-living flesh or his companion. It is fortunately the latter who responds. It is what it is. Iorn is taciturn, logical, master of matters of the flesh, renowned throughout the kingdom for his almost callous application of wisdom. The flesh had been his invention, decades ago now, before Turstan had even entered the citadel, let alone been apprenticed there. Now, years on, Turstan knew the libraries and laboratories of Green Flame as though he had been born into it. Does it feel? Turstan knows that his voice is low, mingled with something like trepidation. He jolts suddenly as the roiling flesh suddenly burgeons out explosively before immediately collapsing back into its same cyclical pattern. His heart races with the thought of it. He is not certain that is the question he wanted to ask. Not really. He wanted to know, in truth, whether this was right. Iorn does not see this, even in all his wisdom. A soft bronze glow of the fading sun darkens and twists his stoic features as he speaks. The flesh isn't a matter of the soul. It's a creation, a tool. Worry about the feelings of humanity, if you must. But don't burden the flesh with such foolishness. Turstan sleeps at night gracelessly. The flesh visits him at night, pooling under the slats of his window as though it is nothing but water made of skin. What are we? It asks him. And Turstan is afraid. Afraid not just because it has been asked, but because he doesn't have an answer. The next night, Turstan risks the wrath of his master by taking a lantern of green fire to bed with him. Exhausted from his daily duties though he might be, he would not sleep without that crutch. The flesh does not visit him in his dreams, but he imagines it slinking just outside the window, summoning small tendrils of human matter and watching him from its eyeless mass. He shudders and sweats himself to an uneasy sleep. The fire is not for your personal use. Iorn chastises him the next day. It is the gift of the king. How dare you sully that gift? Would that it had just been chastisement. Turstan is sore and bruised and defeated. The day's duties are in solemn silence and loneliness and pain. The other apprentices of the citadel avoid him, looking askance, as if they can smell the shame and disappointment seeping from his pores. But worse than all this, Turstan fears the night. He fears the wet mulching noises and the scent of torn, bleeding skin. Are you flesh too? It whispers to him that night, and Turstan understands that he is not dreaming. He cannot locate the would-be creature in the room's gloom, and the voice appears to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. I'm not like you, he says back, the defiance of it deflated by the shrillness of his whisper. What am I like then? He doesn't answer. The eventual oblivion is a relief. Iorn's manner is thunderous and vengeful the next day, his scepter banging across every surface of the laboratories and every unfortunate surface of the nearby apprentices. The king has demanded that the flesh be destroyed. He spits vitriolic phlegm. Can you believe it? After all my hard work. Why, sir? A brave apprentice asks. He is struck viciously by that wild scepter, though Iorn responds to the question as though it had been perfectly reasonable all along. He calls it an abomination, that it is an affront to the divine, says that we have not yet found a use for it. Is the man mad? Does he not see the limitless potential of my flesh? He storms around and continues to beat things and people without mercy. Eventually, he tires of his own rage and stalks away, the sound of surprise screams echoing ever more distant. Teston considers the flesh. It almost seems to stop writhing for a second, hovering. It is just red and white mottled folds, but Teston finds that it is considering him. The green fire. That is how they will destroy it, he knows. He does not sleep that night. Even in this dark, the hopelessness, he knows that he does not want to. He waits. There is a squelch, a slick, mulching, dripping noise, shortly following by more squelches and pops, as though some adhesive element being repeatedly stuck and unstuck from a wooden floor. But Teston does not look. There is no light, no fire. He cannot look, but he feels. He feels the flesh reaching out tentatively. It does not touch him, not yet. It wavers, unsure. We are the same. Teston finds himself saying aloud. His voice pierces through the dark, alerting even himself. He does not regret saying it. And the flesh writhes, spreading itself across the apprentice's small cot, reaching out and touching his own skin and drawing closer. It is warm and alive. Yes, it is alive. It is just like anything else, capable of bruising and loneliness and the fear of death. Teston does not move, but allows it to spread, his own flesh becoming the flesh as well. If it has a mind, it becomes his own too. The mind that was Teston empties, slows, and finally sleeps. The would-have-been mind of the flesh wakes and stretches and considers. Abomination, was it? It roils and bubbles with anger. The body that was Teston expands and flexes. It can be reformed into anything it wants. Tool, was it? The merged flesh stands. The darkness of the room is nothing to it. This entire world is nothing to it, until it all becomes flesh.